Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to my channel. Well, today I want to talk about something really rather important. The myth of soft power and the monarchy. We hear that phrase a lot when you're talking about the British royal family, the soft power they have. And what does that exactly mean? Well, they'd like to tell you that soft power is like the king's convening powers. He can bring people together to discuss things, to promote things, and so on and so forth. Soft power. That would include what Andrew was tasked to do as an ambassador for British trade while he was gallivanting all around the globe. Air Miles Andy, making deals, supposedly British trade, to better the British economy, create ties with other countries with the British government, that kind of a thing. But we also know that during that time, Andrew lined his own pockets quite deeply, and he made deals and friendships with some very shady characters, everybody from arms dealers to sexual assaulters to, money launderers. There's a whole history. Just go through and look at, the things we do know about Andrew's business practices during this time. And there's a lot we don't know because as we've just discovered not too long ago, and I've already done a video on this, that the British government has decided to close the files on Andrew's time as an envoy for the British government trade. They're locking those up till, 2063 or something like that. We'll all be long gone by the time. Now, here's the thing, why cannot, we've got this author, and he's trying to write a book on Andrew, and he put in a Freedom of Information request, and of course it's been denied. And what he's discovered when, they write back, oh, we can't, those files have been destroyed. Well, when have they been destroyed? Well, when you asked for them. The British family has so much control, more so than even the government, that they can decide what they want shown, what they don't want shown, what you're allowed to know about their dealings. That's a little more than soft power. To have the power to keep those kind of secrets, even from the government. Because, of course, the monarchy is above the government. It is His Majesty's courts, His Majesty's government. It's not autonomous. It really isn't. The British royal family may be above government, but they do a hell of a lot to control the way government works, especially when it comes to their own personal stuff, the royal family. So soft power. They define it as things like, state visits to Commonwealth countries, meeting with dignitaries, promoting Britain and the ideals of Britain and this kind of a thing. But we also know that underpinning all of these visits, there is a government agenda. There is a real agenda behind these things. They're pushing for certain things to happen. Do you think it's a matter of soft power that every member of the working royal family at the minute is a member of the World Economic Forum? Why is that even important, you might say? Well, the World Economic Forum, overseen by Klaus Schwab, started out as a think tank. Elitist people, business business leaders, financiers, the top of the heap elite, the less than 1% that want to run the world, and they want to run it to their vision, and us useless eaters are just, we are subject to their every whim. Not much different than the British royal family operates, actually. But here we go. So we've got Charles and we've got William, and indeed Harry, all pushing the World Economic Forum agenda, which is one of bringing us to our knees. It's one of control. It's one of taking away resources from the public, putting it in the hands of the elite for them to use the way they want to, and them to control us through food, through resources, through, they don't want you to drive, they don't want you to travel, they don't want you to eat meat, they don't want you to have autonomy in, what kind of medical care you decide for yourself. They want to be able to push it on you like they did during the pandemic, and, stitch you up with consequences if you don't comply. This is not democracy, that's fascism. And the British royal family, well, that's just King Charles, okay? He bleats on about climate change is the worst thing ever to happen, and it's an emergency, and we've got who knows how many years left. We've got to stop driving electric cars. We've got to stop, buying fast fashion. We've got to stop eating meat. We can't travel. We've got to change our farming practices. And, this is all very well and good for a man that's worth billions of dollars, has multiple residences, can do whatever the hell he wants, and any of the charities that he supports, runs, and puts forth are publicly funded, which means, that they will put out to you that the British royal family, they're good for tourism, and really when you break it down, the sovereign grant works out to like $1.50 per person. What's that? Everybody can pay $1.50 for the royal family. What they don't tell you, things like the wind farms that Charles is supporting, the electric cars, all these environmental green agenda things, those are all publicly funded programs, which means taxpayer-funded programs. Dumfries House, which he bought with the help of wealthy donors, and then set up a charity to restore it, because it's a historical building and everything. He got government grants for that as well. Where does government public money come from? It comes from the taxpayer. You are paying for Charles's every whim. Well, he sits alongside the other members of the World Economic Forum, and is very comfortable writing and delivering speeches that tell you that there's a problem and you have to stop what you're doing. You've got to change your way of life to solve the problem. It's ludicrous. His life isn't going to change. His life isn't going to, he's still got helicopters and royal flights and 18 SUV Land Rovers and I don't know how many houses around the world he's got now, quite a few. All publicly funded, because he's the king. He can do whatever he wants. Let's look at William. When William became Prince of Wales, he was an instant billionaire because he now owns, I guess, the Duchy of Cornwall. All the rents, all the business revenue, all the land, the surrounding seabed. You know, he owns it all. He, in 2021, the income from the Duchy of Cornwall was about £21 million, which went to Charles, of course. Well, now that money is going directly to William. William's gotten up and told us that he is going to, with his foundation, he is going to end homelessness. Bullshit. He's putting in $5 million. $5 million is nothing of his foundation's money. So it's not even his own money. It's money that's been donated to his foundation that he's going to put forward for this initiative to end homelessness. And it's, you know, over the course of a few years. Of course, that's going to be publicly funded, which means taxpayer dollars. You're shelling out your money so that William can do his little project. And you might say, well, he wants to end homelessness. Everybody wants that. That's good. We have no solid business plan. He hasn't come out with any business plan and said exactly how he's going to do it. Hasn't come out with a business plan and said over the 5 years how much money it's actually going to take. He's just spouting epithets. It's really not a whole hell of a lot different than Harry and Meghan. Just be kind. Oh, she's the world's leading bananitarian. He really cares about the veterans. Yeah, he cares about them so much that he'll exploit them every second he can squeeze out of them for documentary, for his own acclaim. Meghan comes to the Invictus Games, or as I like to call them, the Inflict Us Games, because that's what it is now. It's an infliction. He's just, putting that on us. There's no sincerity left in this program at all, and I think even the warriors, the veterans, they know it. They can feel it. They can tell it. Meghan shows up on the scene, makes a speech. Oh my God, she was late because she had a school run. That's what you say if you're off to a meeting and you're 15 minutes late across town. Sorry, got caught up in traffic with the school run. She was, school, what? Lilibet supposedly is, 2 years old? What school is she going to? And she had to stop. She'd get milkshakes on the way to who buys milkshakes for the kids on the way to the school run? What kind of school is that? I mean, it's bullshit. She's pulling things out of the air. Oh, the school run, and oh, we had to stop and get milkshakes, and oh my God, I almost missed my flight. Bullshit. I mean, this kind of. You just gotta shake your head at this woman. And for Harry to let this happen. At an event that should have been about the people. And he's just the figurehead. You could say at one point the driving force, although we know he never came up with the Invictus Games. This was something that the palace cooked up to keep him in line after he fell out of one too many bars after he came home from Afghanistan, and they had to find something for him to do. The Warrior Games, which it's based upon, was actually conceived in the United States and was up and running in the United States before the Invictus Games was ever materialized in Britain. It was developed by the Pellis to give Harry something to do. That's all it is. He never had any real heart for it because it wasn't anything. It wasn't a passion of Harry's. It was a task. You're gonna do this. This is your job. We've given you something to do. That's all the Invictus Game is. So the fact that Meghan's hijacked it is not surprising. But, you know, we look at Harry and Meghan and we say, what a load of crap. They're telling us, you know, with Travelist, oh, you've got to be a conscious traveler and all of this, and carbon footprint and all of that jazz. Well, they're gallivanting around town and guzzle sucking, you know, SUVs, Land Rovers, and private planes 6 times in 5 days across half the world. This kind of, you know, we know that they're hypocrites. We know this. Yet they still get a pass to a certain degree. You don't see the royal family coming out and really saying anything against them. You don't see the royal family saying, this is not sanctioned by the royal family, and don't kid yourself, we shouldn't, you know, don't think Harry's acting on behalf of us. They've said nothing, and they really haven't. They've done subtle little things, you know. Kate gets a side part, and somehow that's a subtle sign that she, you know, one-upmanship on Meghan. This kind of, you see this all the time. Oh, they had a subtle dig at them and this and that. Well, not really. They're still allowed to do what they do, and in fact, even on the royal website, it still says that Harry and Meghan are important members of the royal family that continue to, you know, spend their time between Britain and America doing the Queen's good work. That has not changed. So as far as the royal website is concerned, they're still working on behalf of and with the approval of the royal family. And now, why would that be? Because Harry, the crap he's spouting with Travelist, with Better Up, mental health, all of these things are social constructs put forth by the World Economic Forum to create dissent, to administer more control on behalf of the 1%ers to the rest of us. He's just working right along with the agenda, just like the rest of them. It's what they do with everything. You know, there's got to be a good one and a bad one, and they've got to create dissent, divide and conquer. That way, you know, people can't get together and talk about things and discover what's really going on because they're too scared to talk to each other because this one's a member of the alphabet community. This one's a member of this religious sect. This one's a vegan. I'm a, you know, and they've made the inclusiveness that they're pushing forth in this social construct it's not designed to be inclusive. We're going to include everybody, so they've given every little grouping a label. And what this has done, instead of bringing everybody together, it's created more little groups to divide people. This is what they've done, divide and conquer. It's tried and true. Tried and true. And I mean, look at these programs. Soft power. Soft power. this is not soft power. They are working for the agenda, and they're knee deep in the social construct to divide and conquer, to wrest control away from the people and put it in the hands of the elite, and to just have the world descend into a feudal state again, as it was in like medieval times. This is what they want. They want total control of resources, everything in your life. And I'm sorry, but you got to realize this. And I've said this, I don't know how many times in the last year and a half. Charles is right in there. William, right in there. Next month he's going to be in New York again for the Earthshot Prize. Every year they give away, I don't know, is it $1 million or $5 million to some person or group that is working to develop something to counteract climate change and this kind. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. He doesn't care about climate change. It's not going to change his life. But he can get up there and he can tell you what to do. Now, see, in the Queen's Day, she was less political. I mean, this is a new tack that the new royal family is taking. The Queen would never get up and lecture us on climate change or renewable energy. But even Prince Philip, I mean, you go back to the World Wildlife Fund, which he started. Think about this. Think about the royal family for a minute. They hunt. They have hunts all the time. That's one of the things that they do. They safari. You know, this kind of thing. The whole, and this whole World Wildlife Fund, we've got to protect these animals. We've got to protect wetlands. We've got to protect environments. That is a benevolent sounding concept to sell to the people so that the people will accept land being limited. We're going to come into your country and we're going to say, you know, like this whole quadrant of your country, we're going to set aside as a national park, wetland protected area that you can't go. You can't go there. But the elites can go there. But you can't, because it's protected. That's what all this is. The Queen's Commonwealth Canopy, which she announced at the Heads of Commonwealth meeting in Malta in, I think, 2018, if I'm not wrong. And what she wanted to do at that time was to have every Commonwealth country commit to protecting a piece of forestry. So take it off the map, basically. Nobody can go there. Nobody can travel there. It's protected, not for the public. Block it off under the guise of protecting the environment. And at the most recent Heads of Government meeting, it was announced by Prince Charles at the time that it was completed all, and you know, this is the thing. On the face of it, it sounds, oh, protecting forestry, that's a good thing. Nah, it's finding the right words to make it sound like you're doing something noble when you're actually taking away resources from the public. That's what it's all about. And so that ain't soft power, folks. That ain't soft power. That's in your face. we'll do what we want. And the royal family, don't forget, the Commonwealth is comprised of 1/3 of the world's land mass, 1/3 of the world's population. That's a lot of people under the remit of the Commonwealth, under the power of the sovereign. There's a lot of countries are members of the World Economic Forum. There's a lot of politicians. A lot of the Western world is falling under this model of fascist control. I mean, it's happening. You can't deny it. That's what's going on. And I hate to say it, but the Commonwealth, with the royal family at the lead, is the head of this, the head of the spear for the coming fascist state, feudalism, taking away everything. As Klaus Schwab says, you'll own nothing and you'll love it. This is their plan for the future, and the royal family, as head of the Commonwealth, and look at the big three. You've got Australia, New Zealand, Big Four, Britain, Canada, the big Western Commonwealth countries. All of them are operating now under the guise of net zero, electric vehicles, climate change, all the gender stuff, and alphabet people, and inclusion, and just mind-blowing, out of control. It's not even immigration, it's invasion. Everything that's wrong can be put at the heels of the World Economic Forum, and if you're a member of the Commonwealth, the royal family, they're working in, hate to use a bad pun, goose step, in lockstep with each other to promote the agenda. There's no such thing as soft power. The monarchy doesn't have soft power. They have all the control they need. And you just have to wake up and see it. You got to tear off the rose-colored glasses and the monarchy and the king and well, what would Britain do without a monarch? And you got to really understand that the British royal family, the monarchy, is just another agent of the coming control system. That's it and that's all. There ain't no such thing as soft power. Have a great day, everybody. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Love to know what you think about all this. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.